Okay guys, in this video we're gonna be working on activation part, or actually I can do one thing before you know redirect. I can actually show you the message variable that we are getting here. Just quickly do echo. After showing the message, it will die. I just noticed the password field is not a password. It should be password. And same thing with the login. Oh man, just a mistake I just did there. You see id is 3, the user id that we just parsed, and the token is 58, and so on. Let me just refresh my database and it will be same here as well. You see id is 3 and code is the same as this one. And there's another possibility that you just put the code right into the field, or you can simply just copy this link. Let me just copy it, go there and delete this. Before doing anything, I have to go back here and remove this part because now we don't need this part. Now we have to implement both get and post. We are getting active get variables and id variable, and in the form we are also getting a post variable id and active. So I could say if get active is set, or pipe show the or condition, copy here, paste it here, or if a user hit the submit button. So if this true, then it's mean the value coming from post, and if this thing hit, it's mean the user just did the url thing. So in both cases we have to get token and id in both cases. So if a submit, it's supposed to be a post. So if the post hit, then simply take post form field active. Rather than that, just get the get variable of active from the url. I will just copy this part here and paste it here. The only thing that I have to change is id in id, because we have the same name. If this is submit, then take a id value from form. If form is not submit, then just take the id from get variable. After we will get this token and id, I will again have to use the object, and this time I will gonna say activate function, and I will gonna parse these two, id and tk token. In short, we haven't created that function yet, but we are just going to do it now. In our user file here, I will gonna create the function activate, one id and another one is token. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do here is to check whether this token and id exist with the same user. So if id and token will match, then it's mean the user is the valid user and we have to make it activate. So how would we activate actually? And go to the structure. You see this active column, by default it is 0, so we have to make it 1. What I'm going to do, I'm simply going to update. Let me just write the query and then I will explain you. Update users, the table, set the column to 1 as usual, where id is equals to id that we are passing, and again the token column would be equals to token value that we are passing. Why I am just right away updating? Because if the token and the id will not match, then it will definitely not gonna update it. So rather than just select and where id is equals to this and token is equals to this and then run the update query, it will just put a load on your server. So rather than that, just update right away, and if it won't gonna match, it won't run. Again, doing the run, and if it will run again, if condition will come, it will send us a true if it will run. If it do not run, we will simply gonna throw the error, and for the error let me just copy paste, and this time we will gonna say wrong activation code something. What if it run? Then it means the user was valid, the account got updated, and it is active now. So we have to set the session for the user and then simply redirect the person to our dashboard. In our case it is index of php, so I'm just copy this one, and we have to set the session, and session was user. Where is the user? We don't have a user because this query just provide us a boolean value, false or true. So now we have to get the user again. We could use the same function like that, but we don't have an email. Rather than that, we have a ID, so we will play with the ID and we will gonna say by ID. Simple as that. So I will gonna say user is equals to this get user by ID, and we have a ID right here. No worry about anything. I have to also change it here and also change it here. This is the only thing that we have to do. Select all from user where id is equals to id, and it will definitely run the query because it is the valid. We already checked it here within the function, so we don't have to check again and again. So as soon as we'll get this user here, we'll just parse this user because we are fetching an object. So this object will assign to this session. So if I save here, we are done with the activation. Now there is one more thing that we have to do is to check. Obviously for us, password would be 123456. Let's see what happened. Hopefully we won't gonna get any error. So far we haven't got any error. So just assume that you just got the email here. I know it is not an email, but just assume. First, I will show you this form part, and what we need for this form part is just this code, and all we have to do is to put here. And you guys probably wondering where is the ID. ID is already here. See, and how it got here? If you remember, we set it in our registration function. We set the session ID, you see, in our hidden field. So no confusion, right? Right now you can see it is 0. Just go back, hit the activation button. We have transferred to our dashboard, and let's see if it is updated or not. Just refreshing it. Cool, it just got updated. All set. Great. If I just go to our index file, we can just simply say echo session user will be throughout everywhere in our system. We can access it user, and as it is object, we can say name, so it will be hello for us. Come on, load it. Hello for us. Cool. Now let me just show you the other way of doing the activation. If I go back and delete it, come back here. Now we will gonna go with get part. So again for us, email 123456, register, activation, and now if I reload here, this will be the URL that email will provide. Instead of ID, it must be 6 by now. Yep. And the code, token code would be this. So hopefully this will also work. I will replace the token, and this will be the URL that email will provide us. Okay, it is. Oh man, you see, it's not actually a problem. Go back here in our user file. This is the only thing that I have to do. And same thing, if I just add it there, it should be added here. If I run, it should work now. You see? Great. So as you can see, it is 0 now. Now it is 1. So both ways are working. Our URL as well as the form. So that is so cool thing, right? We will gonna come in next video, and we will gonna take care of these navigation and restriction part as well as the login part. So stick with us. Bye bye for now.